So we got a little bit about your background. Now we're going to dive a little bit deeper. Is there a story about your how you named your kids?
Sure. Sydney. There's a story for everything in my life. Sydney was our firstborn, and so my wife is Jennifer, and Jennifer, by the way, how I met my wife is through CYS. My whole life is CYS related. My wife, we were hiring summer hires at Fort Story, and her girlfriend came in first. Carrie Brown came in first. We interviewed her. She was fantastic, ready to go. And I was working middle school teen then, and in those days, middle school teen was kind of almost an afterthought because the kids were so much older. Everyone was like, well, you just got to kind of keep them, entertained, corralling cats. We needed one more person, and so we were interviewing Carrie and said, hey, we have this one more position. Do you know anybody? And she was like, actually, I happen to have a friend who needs a summer job also. And so Jennifer Weil came in the next week, and we were not dating while we were working together, and we weren't together at all. We just became fast friends and eventually became a couple. And so Jen and I were supposed to go to Australia. This is a true story. We had our tickets bought since 2005, and it would have been our first major trip together as a couple. We've been together for maybe a year. And she's going to hate this story because it's not one of my finest moments, but maybe. I got a call to come work at Fort Meade because I lived in Virginia Beach and she was living here in Northern Virginia in Fairfax. And to be closer to my girlfriend, I put some feelers out to Meade and Meyer, Henderson Hall, and Belvoir. Meade called and they wanted me to come and run their new program. It was called Skies at the time. It was brand new to the Army. But the start date was August 5th, 2005. And our trip to Australia, I think, was in late September, early October, and that was the one kind of deal breaker, at the time, was, we kind of need you to start yesterday because this program really needs to hit the ground running and yada, yada, yada. But long story, so she ended up going by herself to Australia, not my finest moment, so you can imagine she wasn't thrilled with me. But loved it, had a great time, and so when we were having Sydney, we had every year since thought about going back for me to make it up to her, and so Sydney, Australia is where Sydney comes from. And then with Carson, and again, when I tell this story, it's kind of like when I was talking about the Hulk. I only know these people from what you know. You only know people from television, or I don't know, the president. I just know what I see on TV of him. But growing up, I was also another hidden gem about. I loved the Tonight Show. I was a huge Johnny Carson fan. The two shows I love the most with that genre is the Tonight Show with Johnny Carson and Saturday Night Live. And so Johnny Carson meant a lot to me, and I mean I've done a lot of reading about him, and obviously he has like anyone, he's got a very complicated life, but just meant enough to me that when we were thinking of names for our son, Carson kept coming up, and so it's not Carson Daly or Carson Presley. Sorry guys, it's Johnny Carson. Who my son has no idea who that is, of course. But that's how Carson was named.
Does Mr. Jameson have any hidden talent?
Yeah, probably. I mean, so I like music. I wouldn't call myself a musician anymore, but certainly when I was your age. Yeah, I play guitar. I sing. I play guitar. Played in the high school band for a little bit. Not the band, but like a garage band, a high school band. Hidden talents. My wife is watching this right now, probably, and man, I'm not as talented as I would like to be. I can only think of that right now. I play sports. I mean, I don't know if that's talent. I've always been an athlete, despite the midsection now. But I think the only thing someone would be surprised who doesn't know me or my staff's watching, who don't know me that well, is that I can play guitar. I can carry a tune.
Well, we happen to have a guitar right here.
Again, you like your job. No, I promise if the time ever arose that it would be relevant, we would work through that then. Maybe one of these holiday parties that we do, we might get some karaoke going on, or a little CYS band, but not so much today.
Right. We'll save the guitar solo for another video.
I appreciate that. Yeah, the hands don't work the way they used to, as Ed Sheeran would tell you. It's just, arthritis is starting to set in.
So you mentioned playing sports.
Yeah.
What sports did you play growing up?
Oh man, I was just, and my son's kind of like this, and it's been beautiful to see him. He's just a natural at picking up sports. So anything. I mean, I loved soccer. I loved football. I loved, and when I say this is neighborhood stuff. In the beginning, obviously, intramural sports, basketball, baseball. My first love was baseball. As Francis, you heard earlier, Cisco is a softball player, baseball player. So the first sport that I was, in love with was baseball. I'm a diehard Yankees fan. But
I'm sorry to hear that.
That's okay. We have 27 world championships, so I'm not that sorry. I'll tell you that baseball was my first love, but ultimately I fell in love with the sport of tennis.
Okay.
I played tennis I still play tennis, I guess, but I played tennis for a very long time, played for my high school. It's the sport that I love the most. It's the best sport in the world to me, but anything. I'm one of those people who like to try anything in sports. So you know what I really was good at? My hidden talent. There you go. I'll go back to that one. I was really good at table tennis.
Table tennis.
So I'll tell anybody out there that I've never met a person who I fear in table tennis. And I know Aaron from Safety's out there, and he thinks he's really good at table tennis also, but I'm the best
You need to
on the Garrison.
set up a little match.
Hey, that I let you record also. I'm that confident. I don't have to play very often anymore. Obviously, I don't have a table tennis table at my house or anything, but every time I go to the teen center, there's always some teen there who thinks he's hot stuff, and I have to quickly shut him down. It's like riding a bike. So table tennis is my hidden talent.
10 likes for this video, and we're gonna set up that match. So.
Listen, 10's too easy. 100 likes for this video, and we set it up. There you go. We get 1 million likes for this video, we'll do the guitar. All right.
All right. So, what do you do in your free time? Well, let me back up.
Sure.
Do you have free time?
That's a great question. Not at work, I don't. Free time. So, I've got 2 kids. Sydney is my daughter. She's going to be 10 in January. Carson's my son. He's going to be 6 in October. They're my free time. My real boss is my wife, so she keeps me pretty busy. There's always a honey-do list. You're married, so you know. Free time.
What is that?
Free time, probably, because again, if we're getting to know each other, and I think that's the purpose of the video series you're going to start here. I had a little bit of an accident a couple years ago. I don't know if I can call it an accident. I woke up one morning and I just had the worst back pain. They've since, of course, I've been diagnosed with a herniated disc and a tear in my back. So that's taken all the sports out of it. So I'm just now getting over that 2 years later and starting to get back into being able to do some things. But free time is probably spending time with those 2 rugrats and doing what they want to do. And then, of course, during baseball and football season, so it's Yankee games. And certainly, for those of you who are watching, you're familiar that I'm a huge Kansas City Chiefs fan. So if it's August through February, it's all Chiefs all the time. That's my free time. I'm buying something Chiefs related or fantasy football or something like that. Something Patrick Mahomes and Andy Reid related is my guess, is what my free time is spent on.